here we go. Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. Special guest today on the show, American Ninja Warrior. I'm calling him the Godfather offline here, but he's already got his own nickname. Kingdom Ninja. You know him, Daniel Gil. And I am so excited. American Ninja Warrior is back Mondays, 8-7 Central. Check it out, NBC.com, American Ninja Warrior. Let me tell you a little bit about the show. Season 15 of American Ninja Warrior returns with some of the most elite athletes in the country. They're competing on the world's most difficult obstacle courses. These courses wear me out just watching from my couch. The new season will mark the return of the lowered age requirement, which opens the door to a new era of competitors as young as 15 years old. Offline, Daniel and I, before we started the show here, we're talking about that. Well, we'll talk about it again here on air. It's pretty fascinating, the age difference. When Daniel started as a young Ninja Warrior, he was 21 years old, season 7. This is incredible, though. Each season, the obstacle courses continue to evolve, and they become even more challenging for competitors of all ages. While the sport itself simultaneously grows rapidly across the country, with kids everywhere embracing it in record numbers, gyms popping up. I think this is such a great thing that's happened with American Ninja Warrior. Guess what, though? They also win some good money. They're in shape. They get to have some fun, and we get to watch them compete for a top prize of $1 million. That goes to the winner who can conquer all 4 stages of the national finals. But to get there, competitors will need to make it through the qualifying rounds and the semifinals. Welcome, Daniel Gil on the show, American Ninja Warrior, Kingdom Warrior.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. So good to be here with you, Jeremiah.
Oh, it's so good to have you. I think you're a fascinating guy, and we get to spend a little bit of time and peel back some of the things that make you who you are. Tell me about the first season 7. How did you discover American Ninja Warrior? Were you like me, but you actually followed through?
Yeah, no, I mean, gosh, I grew up watching the show like so many of us, right? And when I began watching it as a kid, they didn't have the American Ninja Warrior. It was just the Japanese version, Sasuke, which I would watch on one of the, like G4 MTV, one of the channels that had like extreme sports of that nature. And I grew up and I was like, that is awesome. I was an athlete my whole life. All my childhood, I was the monkey boy. I climbed on everything. And, I always dreamed about doing something like Ninja Warrior. But again, there wasn't anything like it in America. So then fast forward through my high school years, I'm getting into parkour, getting into free running, getting into calisthenics and body weight training. I wanted to be physically strong enough to do anything that I put my mind to. Any challenge that was presented to me, I wanted to be capable. So taught myself front flips, back flips, all kinds of things like that. And by that point, American Ninja Warrior came out. But I grew up in Houston, Texas, where there's like millions and millions of people, and they don't film TV shows out there. Not to mention, I came from a big family. All of us were homeschooled. I was like, there's no way that someone like me would ever have an opportunity to do that TV show. And lo and behold, though, in my college years, I was attending a Bible school, no less. And a friend of mine said, hey, I heard you needed a job. I work at a gym. Long story short, come to find out, it's the only ninja gym in Houston that trains people for the TV show. I go there, I get a job, I start training. I'm naturally pretty good just from a whole lifetime, 19 years of being an athlete. Tried 2 years and got rejected on the show, because the hardest part is literally just getting that call back, because you submit a video, you fill out this long application, and out of tens of thousands of applicants, the producers will select just a few hundred for each new season. And so 2 years I tried, didn't get rejected or didn't make the cut. First year, I was just on the bubble of being too young, because like you said, it used to be 21 years old was the starting age. The following year, I was 21, did not get the call, and had to join what was called the walk online. I waited outside for a week with no guarantee of getting on, and then finally was able to be one of the few competitors waiting in that line, not with no guarantee. And I found myself competing on season 7, did a really good job, had fastest time of the night in my qualifier episode for the Houston qualifiers. and then went on to be Rookie of the Year that season on season 7. And then that launched me into my career as a ninja athlete.
Yeah, special guest Daniel Gil, American Ninja Warrior, Kingdom Ninja. He's the 2020 grand champion of American Ninja Warrior, 8 times on the show as a Ninja Warrior, American Ninja Warrior. I just love this. So Daniel, so you tried for 2 years to get there. Is there something that wannabe ninjas, or want ninjas that want to get on the actual course in the television show? Is there something, there's some sort of trick that you learned to make yourself stand out to the producers?
Yeah, well, man, the advice that I give people all the time is, you want to try to set yourself apart as a character, because as much as it is a competition, it is also reality television. And if you can market yourself to towards a demographic, or you've got an incredibly moving story or background, or something that you've gone through, obstacles that you've overcome that others will connect with, if you've got long crazy curly hair, things like that, anything that you can do to set yourself apart. Because the vetting process of these contestants before they're selected, you go through about 2 or 3 or more rounds of vetting, where people look at all of these thousands of videos and say, okay, we like this one, we like that one. Yeah, most people are strong enough to get through the first obstacle. We're not so much looking for strength. We want characters that America can get behind. And so yes, train your body, but also train yourself to be able to speak well on camera, to have a level of excitement and enjoyment. I mean, it helps when people like myself truly love running these courses, have a passion for OCR, which is obstacle course racing. And if you can get that combination of loving it, having a story, and having a personality to go with it, I think you're a triple threat, and you'll set yourself up for success.
So let's pretend right now that you are sending in a tape and I'm one of the American Ninja producers.
Yeah.
What was your tape like? This is your first tape. What did you say? What
Oh
was your
man,
story?
well,
do you remember?
my first one didn't get accepted, and neither did my second one. But after that, once I finally waited in the line, okay, so it would go something like this, like, hi, American Ninja Warrior. My name is Daniel Gil. I'm from Houston, Texas. Here's where I work. Here's how I train. Here's interesting things about my life. All the while, like a montage video of things, flying in and out of frame. And then with all that said, I hope you enjoyed my video. Please select me for this upcoming season of American Ninja Warrior. I'll see you guys at the top of Mount Midoriyama. And then I'd like fireworks go off in the background.
I like it.
Fun bloopers or fail videos, something that keeps things lively. You want it to be a memorable video. So as many ways as you can make it memorable and stick in their minds, that's what you want to do.
Daniel, you're in. If I had a vote, I'd say you're in. Well, that's a great tip, because like you said, I'm a kid from, I can't imagine that I could make it on a TV show. I'm a kid from a town that it just doesn't happen. And then you did, you made it, perseverance, but that took a lot of faith, right? And faith is a big part of who you are. Tell me a little bit about that and your faith, and the faith and, just that you have in yourself. I think it's kind of infectious. It's like,
oh man, like I love sharing about that, because honestly, like I said, when I first found out about a ninja gym in my hometown of Houston, I was attending a Bible college, and it was a friend of mine at that Bible college that told me about this gym and set me on the path towards Ninja Warrior in the first place. At that point in my life, I was just pursuing my relationship with the Lord. I was like, man, I've not only grown up in a Christian household, but I've truly taken ownership and responsibility of my faith and my walk with God. I'm not just an American Christian by default because of where I live and where I'm from. Like I want to take ownership. I want to learn the roots. I want to learn what my Bible says. I want to learn all of these things. And so when I got on or began training for American Ninja Warrior, I said, how can I bring my faith into this without looking or seeming like I'm shoving my faith down people's throat. I hate that method. I would rather people come up and say, hey, what is different about your life? And then that opened a door for me to share my faith and just point them to Jesus. So I put kingdom across my chest. So I'm known as the Kingdom Ninja, and that's for one of my favorite Bible verses, where it's Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, where Jesus is talking to his disciples, his followers, and he's talking about the worries and the cares of life. And he said, look at the birds of the air. They don't have jobs. They don't work. This is my translation, basically. He says, but God feeds them every day. He said, look at the flowers of the field. They don't labor, they don't toil, they don't spin, and yet they're clothed more beautifully than any apparel that you could ever wear. And he said, how much more valuable are you as people to God than animals and flowers? And so then he brought it all to this. He said, Matthew 6:33, he said, if you seek first the kingdom of God and to live righteously, just do the best that you can. He said, then all of these things in life will be added to you. God will take care of them. And so I really took that scripture, that verse to heart. And I said, okay, God, I'm going to pursue you with everything that I've got. And I'm going to work hard. I'm not going to sit on my hands and ask you to just drop food in my lap every day. Like I'll work hard, but my trust and my source isn't in myself. It's going to be in you. So if I'm going to do Ninja Warrior, I'm going to train my butt off. I'm going to make sure that I'm physically capable to run these courses, but the outcomes, I'm going to trust you with that. And I'm going to have as much faith. I'm going to choose to have as much faith in myself as I believe that you have for me. And that's a whole different mindset, even as Christians, as believers, as people of faith. Like, it's easy for us to believe in God, but sometimes very difficult to believe in ourselves. But when I read my Bible, it's the God of this Bible throughout all this history. He chooses us, he calls us, and he has good plans for us. Another verse I love is an Old Testament one by a prophet, the mouthpiece of God at the time. And he said in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, he says, I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, but to give you a hope and a future. And I have to believe that if these are the words that God says about his people, which I'm included in that, then I have to choose to believe that about myself. So I work hard every day. I put my hands to work, and then I trust God with the results. And even if they're not the results that I want, like a few years ago, I was just a few seconds away from $1 million back in 2019. I remember losing that million and thinking, well, man, it's easy for people to win anything, lift their hands up and give God glory, Christian or not. I said, but Lord, how much more impactful is it when someone who is a professing man or woman of faith and lose, fall, or fail, but still have faith, still believe that things can work out for good? And man, I've gotten to use that story in schools across the nation and in churches and summer camps and all of these different places. It's opened a door for me to become a motivational speaker all over the country, because when I lost that year, I told myself and everybody else, hey, if I made it this far once, I'm going to do my part, and I believe that God will bring me back here again. And you know what happened, Jeremiah? The next year in 2020, I came back and won season 12 of American Ninja Warrior. So my faith plays a huge role in my life. It's the reason that I'm doing any of this in the first place. And, my wife and I, now we've opened up a 501c3 nonprofit because my life is taking even, slightly different trajectory now with Ninja Warrior as a professional level athlete, but now using that platform to create content, to create resources. We got books coming out. We got curriculums coming out. Jeremiah, my life is taking such an incredible turn, and it's such a journey and so much fun.
Oh man, I can see how excited you are, and how great. I think American Ninja Warrior really is inspiring. We've had other ninjas on the show, and it seems like the American Ninja Warrior gives you a platform and a lot of other ninjas, a platform to really do good in the world. I mean, almost every one of them is doing something really neat and unique, from helping,
Bring
animals
awareness
to
to so many different causes.
so
Yeah.
many causes. What are some of the similarities between the culture, of American
Like the
Ninja Warrior,
community and everything.
and what you're doing, and your own life, your faith, your personal
Oh
beliefs?
yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
man. Yeah, no, I think there's some incredible similarities. And I mean, just right off the bat, like the culture of American Ninja Warrior, I mean, you've got some of the most gifted, some of the most talented athletes from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life, and all different like disciplines. You've got sports from all across the board, and these men and these women are coming and trying out the world's toughest obstacle course. And you get some of the most incredible characters and personalities. I mean, some of the guys, some of my good friends, you got like Grant McCartney, the Island Ninja. You got like Flip Rodriguez. You got Joe Moravsky, like this average Joe who looks like he just got off the couch, but is dominating these courses year after year. And I think running these courses and the culture that comes from American Ninja Warrior is that we all will face obstacles in life, whether they're physical obstacles like what you're seeing on the show, or whether they're emotional obstacles coming up from these, or getting back up from these upsets, these emotional things that happen to us in life, or even like these mental obstacles, like the fear of trying something new, the fear of stepping out in faith and doing something, man. And I think one of the best themes that we see throughout the show is learning to overcome whatever it is that we're facing as those of us that are watching the show. So I saw so-and-so get back up after facing this crazy illness, or after going through this tragic accident, or after facing this crazy thing in their family. And it gives each of us the drive to get back up and move forward, as well as the culture of the TV show as competitors. Yeah, we all want to hit the buzzer. We all want to move on. We want to make a name for ourselves. We want to conquer Mount Midoriyama, but we're all cheering each other on as well. We're supporting each other. I mean, the community on the show is one that says, yeah, I know the blood, sweat, and tears that I had to make and to give and sacrifice to make it to this point. And I know that you had to do the same thing to get here. So I want you to do your best. Now, that's not to take away from me. I'm still going to give it 100% of what I've got, but I wish the best for you as well. And Ninja is such a cool culture because of that. And honestly, for me as a Christian, like my life of faith, like as a Christian, we've got Christians of all different denominations and all different backgrounds. And I'm like, okay, guys, we have our major things that we agree on. Let's focus on those and use every gift, use every talent, use every ability that we have as individuals, and use that to bring good, use that to point people to a higher purpose and calling, because that's also what we're doing on American Ninja Warrior, bringing awareness to different causes and shedding light on different things in the world. And man, it's so cool to watch these two huge pieces of my life, both my faith as a Christian and me as an elite level OCR athlete on this TV show, go hand in hand and complement each other so well. It's truly like a miracle, in my opinion.
And it fits into what you're doing. You're really spreading the word and this positive message into the world, which we all need right now. Let's admit it.
Yeah, especially the message of
sunshine,
getting back up, because
tell me about
man,
that.
You watch us on the show, right? And you've got your favorite ninjas, and oftentimes we'll hit the buzzers, but in 15 years, there's only been like 2 finishers. So at some point or another, all of your favorite ninjas, each and every one of us, myself included, have fallen or failed time after time after time, each and every season. And I think one of the greatest things that we get to do as competitors on the show is to showcase not only what it looks like to win and stay humble, because Ninja Warrior is the most humbling sport I've ever done. You never know what obstacles you're going to get. Yeah. You never get to practice them. And it doesn't matter how strong or successful you've been in the past. One slip up, one break in focus can end your season right then and there. So I love how we not only get to showcase what victory and success should look like from a competitor, from an athlete, but we get to showcase what it looks like to fall and fail and face that devastation, that loss of, yeah, I was 3 seconds away from $1 million and I lost. A lot of people might just say, hey, I quit, I give up. I'm not capable of doing this. I've tried 6 years at this point. I'm not good enough. There's always going to be reasons to stay down or to give up or to quit. But if you've got that passion for something and you've put in the work and you've got that talent, do not let those slip ups, do not let those setbacks cause you to give up on a dream. I think some of the most successful people in history, whether they be athletes or businessmen and women, are those that they've failed more than others have ever even tried. And that's something that drives
True.
me and gets me getting like going forward through every loss. And what's really something I think people should take away from this portion is that if you let your identity be based on your outcomes, based on your performance, then on your bad days, you're going to go through an identity crisis. And I hate that. We're not called for that. We're not designed for that as human beings. I find my identity in who I am with the people around me, and in my faith and my walk with the Lord as a son of the Most High God. Like that's where I get my identity. So my performance, whether it's in sports, whether it's in business, whether it's in any endeavor that I'm taking on, I want to win. I want to do well. But if I fall or fail, today's not my day. I'm going to pick it up and try again tomorrow. There's
Get back up.
always another day.
Yeah. Daniel, if this whole thing with American Ninja Warrior doesn't work out, I think you've got a career as a motivational speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. I actually
No,
already have one,
I
man.
know,
I'm
I know,
speaking it
I'm joking.
more than
So
ever before.
yeah, Kingdom Ninja, Warrior's Guide to Physical, Mental, and Spiritual Health.
Yes.
Your book is coming out soon. When will this be released?
Oh man, we've got a fall release. I think it's early or mid-August is what it is. And so, gosh, you guys, you can pre-release. I've got it on, I'll have it on my website. I've got it on my Linktree, linktree.com/Kingdom Ninja. You can pre-order it on Amazon. You can pre-order it on Kindle. What this book is it's not only my biography of the 30 years of my life as an athlete and as a world-class OCR racing Ninja War winning champion, Ninja Warrior, but it's also got three parts to it, which is not only one part is physical health and wellness, one from the perspective of an athlete like myself, but two, just the realization and talking on the fact that each of us on this planet, we have one body. And unlike cars, we can't just swap them out, trade them out whenever we need a new one. We have to take care of them. And whether that's, being an elite level athlete or just getting off the couch, finding ways to move and finding ways to take better care and take ownership of the body that you have. Part of it's physical health and wellness. Another third of the book is mental health and wellness. I think more than ever before, the world is realizing how much we're being affected as individuals in the space of mental health and wellness. So I talk about that. I talk about things that I've learned over the years as an athlete, the things that I've gone through, the struggles that I've had. And then the third part of the book is, as a Christian, as the Kingdom Ninja, it's all about spiritual health and wellness. I do believe that as a human being, we are comprised of three different components. We're, part spirit, we have a soul, and we live in a body, right? So that three-part being, I try to hit every topic, taking care of our minds, taking care of our souls, but also taking care of our bodies. So I'm so excited to be working on this book. Finished now, just waiting for it to come out later this year. I've done it with a great publishing company, Harvest House out of Oregon, and it has been such a joy to work with them and get all that has just been bubbling up inside of me over years of jotting down my thoughts, because I've been journaling since my like high school years, just all these thoughts that I have. And this is going to be the fruition of that. And I could not be more excited about it, Jeremiah.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm excited for you. And definitely everybody go to Linktree, your Linktree, give out the address if you can to your website so that.
Yeah. So I got a bunch of different
visit you
domains,
there.
but I think it could be as simple as danielgil.com or kingdomninja.com. Or what is, I got a fun one. I got the funnest one is danielgil.ninja. Yeah, .ninja. You can
All
make that.
those will
That's a
take you
thing.
where you need to go, right? Get you there. Not many
Exactly.
people, you talk about your body and how it correlates to mental wellness and how you
Yeah.
feel, right? Not many people do with their bodies what you do with your body,
Yeah.
or challenge themselves, and they should. But what are some of the solutions? Were you ever at a point where you weren't I mean, you talked about, you decided, I want to get physically fit, mentally
Mhm.
fit, all the way through my faith, everything about you decided, you made a conscious decision
Yeah.
to go that direction. Uh, and I agree with you that all those things help your mental wellness and help your outlook and how you face the day and how you face the challenges. Could you give one or two tips to people that admire you, follow you, love you, that
Yeah.
really helped for you during the, because it
Yeah,
didn't just happen overnight. It
absolutely.
was a challenge, right? And it was
Yeah,
probably a
it was.
struggle,
And
probably a daily struggle.
a funny story is when part of the reason why I have taken such levels of the ways that I take ownership of just my physical abilities is the fact that when I was in middle school, after being like an athlete all up until that point, just the monkey boy, scrawny kid, thin as a rail, there was about a year of my life when I was 12 years old where I became sedentary, stopped going outside, stopped playing, got overcome by just getting addicted to playing my video games, only eating junk food. And I'll tell you this, Jeremiah, I weighed at 12 years old 10 pounds less than I do right now as a 30-year-old man. And I was at 155 pounds, I was obese for my age. And I remember waking up and being embarrassed to go to the pool, being embarrassed at how hard it was to keep up with my friends when we would go outside and jump on the trampoline or play a pickup game of a sport. And I remember hating that feeling. But then I realized, hey, I can change this. I had parents in my life that helped give me the tools and the resources. I had coaches in my life that helped give me, training guides and things like that, gave me advice. But the reality is I made a conscious choice to say, I don't want to be this way anymore. I don't want to live like this. What are some steps that I can take? So I asked my parents, I said, hey, what can we do? And they said, hey, join back your dad's soccer club. My dad had a soccer club for a number of years. So I joined soccer. My dad got us a Bowflex home gym. And I said, okay, I want to get a Bowflex body like the commercials I see on TV. I began to change the way that I ate. I wasn't crazy strict, but I practiced moderation and I put good in because I wanted to get good out. I eat more real foods than I do fake foods with all these preservatives and additives. Yeah. It's so simple because when it comes to our health and wellness, there's two sides of the coin. There's the exercise, there's a physical side, but then there's also the health and wellness, what you're putting into your body, because you can train hard but still eat garbage and you'll get muscles, you'll get strong, but your body won't be as healthy as it can be. You won't fight off infections as well. You won't be able to withstand, all of these things that we're facing in the earth right now.
Yeah.
But I tell people, start by making a decision, a conscious choice, and then figure out what those steps are. One small step each day towards a goal, towards this new lifestyle. Each week, that's 7 new steps. Each month, that's 30 new steps in a totally different direction. And all it takes at that point is the accumulation of time. I think time is the greatest gift because if we use it right, we can make huge leaps and bounds with the goals that we have for our lives. So if that's going for a walk each day for 15, 20 minutes, amazing. If that's joining a new pickup sport somewhere, if you got the time, awesome, do that. If that's getting a membership, do that. I would encourage you, find a community. It is so much easier to chase towards these athletic goals
with
when we have
others.
those that can help keep us accountable and
Yeah.
those that can help encourage us to stay the course on those days that we just don't feel it. Because there are those days.
Yeah.
The
There are
worst
those
thing we can
days
do
for
is
sure.
throw the baby out with the bathwater when those bad days happen and just say, oh, I give up now. No, have a cheat day, have a bad day, but then get back up and get back on the grind when you're ready. And have ways to de-stress. I have ways like therapeutic things that on my bad days, I do those things. I sit down, I read a book, I jot down my thoughts, my feelings. I talk to a person, whether it's a counselor or a pastor, whoever. Because if we don't get out everything that's bottled up inside of us, man, you're asking for trouble. So yeah, those
Indeed.
are my 2 cents in the
Those are,
realm of health and wellness when it comes to taking ownership of it.
hey, that's Daniel Gil. He's the 2020 grand champion of American Ninja Warrior. Just a great guy too. He's this public speaker. He's a trainer. You can check him out if you're uh, in Houston, Texas. He's a trainer at Iron Sports Gym. Tell me about, we've only got about 4 minutes left together here, Daniel,
Oh,
unfortunately,
wow.
but tell me about Iron Sports Fit. And I mean, it's really, is it totally a gym built like an
Oh
American
man,
Ninja
it's
Warrior.
unlike any other gym that you've ever seen. Now, the good news is there's ninja gyms like these OCR obstacle course racing facilities popping up all over the country. I've had the privilege of working at Iron Sports Gym in Houston, Texas for about 10 years now. 1 decade of my life has been dedicated to the sport of ninja, and not just for my own goals of being a competitor, but I've been coaching it. I've been working with students of all ages, coaching them in this exciting, this fun sport, the fastest growing sport, not only in the country, but in the world. The sport of Ninja Warrior is in over 18 different countries with their own different TV shows. And all of these, there's international competitions happening all the time. There's talk about putting it in one of the upcoming Olympics, either 2024 or 2028. So this sport, this movement-based sport of OCR, obstacle course racing, is growing exponentially. So I coach out there at Iron Sports Gym. I have one-on-one lessons with people, whether it comes to obstacle course racing, because there's leagues all across the nation right now for those that want to get involved in the sport of ninja. I'm actually in North Carolina, just this last weekend, we've got the World Ninja League finals happening. It's been such a joy to be involved in the sport the way that I am, but I coach there. But most of these ninja gyms also have your traditional weights, because any good athlete needs to have a good foundation of just strength and ability, having mobility, and all of these different things come from not only, yes, doing pull-ups, but working all these other muscle groups outside of just swinging on monkey bars all day. So you can find me in Houston. I'm currently at Iron Sports Gym. We'll see what the future holds. I might end up opening a place myself in the next year or two. We'll see. This public
speaking
thing. You got a
lot going on, my friend.
There's a lot of stuff going on,
Jeremiah. A lot of stuff going on.
A lot.
Iron Sports Fit.
Yeah, Iron Sports Gym. I was gonna say, don't even get me started on the shoe that I've designed with Nike for this sport. Been working with Nike for about 3 years on a side project to make the world's best Ninja Warrior shoe. And
that's very cool.
Stay tuned. We got a lot of irons in the fire, so to speak.
You do, my friend. You do. You should bring that back. Come back and promote that when you're ready. And when your book comes out, I'd love to talk to you more about that. I think it's fascinating subject, and your life is obviously very, very inspiring. Last thing before I go, you're a motivational speaker. I don't know why you chose that. You're very good, obviously, at speaking and motivating, and like I said, very inspiring, my friend. But what could someone, because someone can hire you if they're listening right now to go? Will you travel? You have motivation. Will travel?
Absolutely. I go all over the country. This is arguably one of the busiest summers I've ever had, by the grace of God. We're out all over the place. My wife is my manager. We travel together. We've been doing motivational speaking, and she's been working with me, helping me with all the management, all the details. She's very much a detail-oriented person. I'm just like, hey, put me in front of people, give me a microphone. I know exactly what to do. But yeah, people can reach out to me.
I'm swinging in.
Exactly. I mean, people can find me through any social media outlet, whether that's Instagram or Facebook, just messaging me there. They can message me directly through, what is it? We just opened a new one, bookingdanielgill@gmail.com.
And what type of directly? Okay, sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
Daniel Gil.
I was going to say bookingdanielgill@gmail.com. Will send them directly to me. So I'll open up those emails. I'll see them. I mean, you could also... I'll throw my direct one here. I don't know how many people are going to watch this or listen to it, but you can email me at daniel.gill242@gmail.com. Get me directly. But yeah, there's all these ways that I get involved, whether it's school visitations or, church chapel visits or summer camps or conferences, or even just special guest appearances. I've done so many of those, and I never would have expected this to be part of the life that my future would hold. I'm 30 years old now, just entered a new decade of my life. And I do believe that the best is ahead for me, because I don't take anything for granted, and I want my life to make an impact, whether that's solely through the show or using the platform of the show for as many more years as I get to compete, making as big of an impact as I can. Because I remember being that kid, Jeremiah, that would sit in these events, and the speaker, whether they were from TV or a celebrity or whoever they were, the words that they would say to me, Jeremiah, and the thousands or the hundreds that I was sitting with, they would impact me greater than things my teachers, my coaches, and even my parents would say, because so-and-so said it and so-and-so was on TV. And for better or for worse, I'm going to listen to their advice. So once I got the platform of Ninja Warrior, I realized I had a responsibility, and I want a big family someday. So I try to be the role model now that I want my future kids to have someday. So I don't take it lightly. I use every opportunity to the very best of my abilities, and I love doing events of all kinds.
Well, hey man, I've really enjoyed this time with you. I'm going to put all of the things we've talked about, all of your socials and ways that you can book Daniel Gill to either come speak or to train you, or just shoot him an email. He's probably going to regret giving out his personal email. He's the 2020 grand champion of American Ninja Warrior, and the American Ninja Warrior is back. And we'll follow you and all your success.
Catch me on this season too.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome. DanielGill.ninja. That's his new website. You can find all his socials though, if you forget. Linktree, Kingdom Ninja,
Yep,
Daniel Gill. Yeah, Daniel, man. Thank you so much. You want to thank your wife?
Yeah. Oh, dude, my wife, Abby, she is the best. She travels with me everywhere that I go. And it's just the life we live is one that we're truly blessed with. And thank you so much for having me on the show. I'll try to bring Abby next time. Let her have a cameo or something.
Do that for sure. Do that. All right. And check out American Ninja Warrior Mondays, 8/7 Central, NBC.com, American Ninja Warrior. Pick up your exclusive workout gear, drinkware, and apparel, and more featuring American Ninja Warrior. I don't usually give out like I feel like I'm selling for American Ninja Warrior. You know why though? It really is a great movement. It's a great television show. The culture, the good things that the ninjas are doing out there in the world, and that's why it's growing in popularity. We need ninjas, more ninjas, please.
Yes.
Daniel, thank you so much, and we'll be right back after this